And now, CCW News presents Holy Crap! This is actually happening! Pathetic Distractions Edition, September 20th, 2023. I'm Chuck U. Farley. Since it's now chic to believe in extraterrestrials, the Mexican government submitted what they deemed to be fossilized alien corpses, totally not to distract from the wide-open borders allowing their terrestrial aliens to run amok in the U.S. UFologist Jaime Maussan, who testified under oath, swore that the X-rays, carbon DNA dating, and witness testimony totally proved that tiny gray spacemen traveled across the universe and visited the planet centuries ago and have since totally forgotten how to crash land on government property where they'll be recovered, preserved, and hidden until politically convenient. Mr. Maussan, who previously claimed multiple discoveries of alien corpses, including 5 Peruvian mummies that were later proven to be human children, spearheaded the totally believable, totally legitimate report. Everything to see here, folks. Do not move on. Pay no attention to the corpse in the Oval Office. Just keep focusing on the really, really real spaceman corpses. Since aliens are no longer working, the Pentagon is trying treasure hunting. The same government that can track down any given granny who trespasses after being led into the people's house, but can't find folks who, on video, plant pipe bombs and or coke around the Capitol, have now lost an entire F-35 fighter jet mid-flight. Authorities are asking the public for any information they may have on the location of the $80 million state-of-the-art war machine. I swear, I am not making this up. The anonymous pilot, whom they're keeping anonymous for what are surely non-nefarious reasons, randomly jettisoned while the jet was on autopilot. While the Pentagon has labeled the incident a mishap and is releasing no other details, it should be noted that this isn't the first time a fighter jet has spontaneously ejected its pilot. In fact, the Air Force is currently facing lawsuits for pilot deaths that involved counterfeit ejection seat parts installed by contractors that got their parts from, you guessed it folks, China. No, I am not making this up. This particular jet may still be in the air or may have since crash-landed somewhere magically off radar, but the government has not ruled out that it has been abducted by fossilized extraterrestrials from Peru. While Donald Trump can't even ask for the time without being indicted by the DOJ for misinformation, the Biden cabal has sent a letter to all major news outlets demanding they not report on the impeachment inquiry of the big guy. Of course, Pravda will always report exactly as Dear Leader instructs, thus every outlet reported the following, word for word. Speaker Kevin McCarthy launched an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden despite having found no evidence of a crime. The White House, Party Democrats, and now all major news outlets have since declared that paper trails, bank statements, large influxes of foreign funding, first-hand sworn witness testimony, and even bragging about your crime on video in front of a large live summit audience does not count as evidence as long as your funding comes from China or Ukraine and your last name rhymes with Hayden. The Libertarian National Committee has dutifully filed for conservatorship of Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell, stating, quote, the clear incapacitation, mental lapses, and deficiencies in decision-making that are clearly observable in numerous, recent, and well-publicized instances necessitate these actions, end quote. While their intentions are well-meaning, the Uniparty scoffs at their attempt to end elder abuse at such levels, especially given that they did not equally seek to protect other mentally impaired representatives such as Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Dianne Feinstein, John Fetterman, or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Even rootin' tootin' Putin can see the wholesale corruption of the Biden regime. While stumbling sniffy old Joe makes a laughingstock out of the entire country, the dictator for life can plainly see the meat puppet figurehead oligarch for what he is. He sees the Trump persecution as politically motivated and says, quote, it shows all the rottenness of the American political system, which cannot pretend to teach others about democracy, end quote. Which is rich coming from him, especially since Biden has done everything both he and Zelensky has asked for at the U.S. taxpayers' expense. The enemy of my enemy's enemy is, never mind. Speaking of hysterical corruption, Democrats have publicly declared that they believe Elon Musk should be punished for not starting World War III. Musk, who granted Ukraine free use of his Starlink satellite service since the beginning of the U.S.-funded war, chose not to expand said service to facilitate Ukraine's Pearl Harbor-like attack in Crimea last September, given that Russia would retaliate with nukes. Since he was not under contract with the warmongering Biden Banana Republic, he was free to make such decisions, which really goes against everything a proper warmongering dictatorship stands for. After Lauren Boebert got groped by a Democrat in a crowded theater, the pro-sex worker, child-grooming lefties are feigning self-righteous fury over her disgrace. The loudest pearl clutcher to voice his moral outrages, Howard Stern? I swear I am not making this up. For CCW News, this has been Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening. I'm Chuck U. Farley. Good night, and may God help us.